Hello and welcome to Prepare IS. Myself Gaurav Tripathi. We are learning NCERT class 7th. The book is Our Environment, and today we are going to discuss lesson number 4, Air. Let's start the topic, air. We know that around the earth there is a figure. There is a mixture of gases called atmosphere. What is atmosphere? How it works? All these points will clear today through this video. The atmosphere creates a blanketing cover or a blanketing effect. This atmosphere is mixture of gases. Let's see what atmosphere has. Composition of atmosphere. The atmosphere includes gases. The atmosphere includes dust particle, the atmosphere includes water vapor, it means the atmosphere have the composition of atmosphere is the gas, the dust particle and the water vapor. Three main components of atmosphere. Now the atmosphere works, it make our earth as a living planet. How? The atmosphere is make a blanketing cover. Through this blanketing cover, the atmospheric condition makes our earth to a livable planet. If there is no atmosphere around us, what would happen? If there is no atmosphere around us, the temperature during the daytime increases to 180 degrees Celsius, and in the nights it falls to minus 80 to 100 degrees Celsius. In that condition, we cannot expect any life on earth. So the life of earth is a result of atmosphere which is made by gases, dust particles and water vapor makes our environment. That clear? Why I am telling that a blanketing cover? Because the atmosphere is epoch for the incoming solar radiation, but it protects or it makes a hurdle for the terrestrial radiation or the re-radiation by the earth. So it protects, it make a hurdle, it create a blanketing cover. By this blanketing cover or this blanketing effect, the atmosphere or the temperature of earth, which is 15 degrees Celsius, is in a stable range, is always in a stable range. Through this result, the earth is always be a livable condition, यानी अर्थ जो है वो जीवन दायनी बनी रहती है. Let's see the composition. Gases. we know that there are 8 main gases which makes the atmosphere, but some nitrogen, oxygen, argon and CO2, these are the heavy gases. Excluding argon, all 3 gases are highly reactive. The nitrogen percentage is 78.08%. It is the volume of the 78% volume of the atmosphere. The O2 20.94. In some of the books it is 78 and 21. The argon 0.93%, and the carbon dioxide is 0.03%. This is the main composition of the gases in our atmosphere. But there are some other gases like ozone, krypton, xenon. All these gases are called inert gases. Dust particle. The dust particle reflects, scatter and absorbs the insolation. The dust particle reflects, scatter and absorb the insolation. By the scattering of the insolation, the dust particle, the scattering of the insolation by the dust particle makes a special phenomena. The color of sky means blue, and during the dawn and during the sunset, the orange color of the sky is result of the scattering of the insolation by dust particles. So the scattering of insolation makes some special phenomena. Let's see water vapor. The percentage of water vapor is 0 to 4% of the atmosphere. 0 to 4%. But this small, this very low percentage is makes all the seasonal changes, all the types of precipitation, especially all the types of precipitation is created by, is made by the 0 to 4% of the water vapor in our atmosphere. Rain, hailstorm, fog, snowfall, all these are result of this water vapor, right? So this is the composition of atmosphere. Now we are going to learn we have learned the composition of the atmosphere. First we see that the nitrogen and the oxygen makes almost the percentage of the gases into the atmosphere, approx 99.9%. The oxygen is the gas which is responsible for our life. But during the development of the atmosphere, hydrogen and helium were the main gases into the atmosphere. But when the time spent, धीरे-धीरे समय खत्म होने लगा, तब क्या हुआ? The oxygen increases and the percentage of nitrogen also increases. The nitrogen is a gas which regulates the burning around our earth. मतलब ये कोई भी चीज जलती है हमारी पृथ्वी पे चारों तरफ जल ना जाए, बिकॉज एटमॉस्फेयर जो है उसके पास क्या है, एटमॉस्फेयर, देयर आर सम कैरेक्टर्स ऑफ आवर एटमॉस्फेयर, कंप्रेसिबिलिटी, मोबिलिटी एंड इलास्टिसिटी, ये तीन विशेषताएं इसकी हैं. तो ड्यू टू द मोबिलिटी ऑफ द एटमॉस्फेयर, आवर एटमॉस्फेयर क्रिएट्स अ फ्रिक्शन फोर्स. So the nitrogen regulates the burning due to the friction force of the atmosphere. The photosynthesis done by the plants. So during the photosynthesis, the plants produce oxygen and consumes CO2. So CO2 is a resource for us, but after the Industrial Revolution, the CO2 increases day by day in our atmosphere and create a blanketing effect. It means the CO2 makes a blanketing effect called greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect. In greenhouse effect, the CO2 and its friend gases prevent the terrestrial radiation and makes our environment warmer. Right? Now, the next topic is structure of the atmosphere. Structure of the atmosphere. This is the earth's surface. This is the earth's surface. The atmosphere is divided into 5 zones or 5 different layers. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The first is called troposphere. Second is called stratosphere. Fourth is called mesosphere. Fifth is called ionosphere or thermosphere. And this is called exosphere. The troposphere, the average of the troposphere height is 13 kilometer. The stratosphere 50 kilometer. The mesosphere 80 kilometer. The ionosphere is 400 to 400 kilometers, and over this is called exosphere. All the seasonal phenomena happens into the troposphere. There is also a interesting character of troposphere. While we going towards the up, the temperature of atmosphere decreases with an equation 1000 meter. When we go towards the sky or the upper atmosphere, 6.5 degrees Celsius temperature decreases. That's why we feel a little chiller or a little कह सकते हैं कि थोड़ा सा ठंड महसूस होती है हमें while we go to the mountains. 1000 meter 6.5 degree Celsius decreases. This is called normal lapse rate. Normal lapse rate. It does not change to it does not change along with the latitudes, right? The second is stratosphere. The main character of stratosphere is O3, means ozone gas. The stratosphere or the O3 gas prevents or absorbs. The original word is absorbs to the UV maximum of ultraviolet rays and protects our earth and our life also. The ozone, what the ozone does? The ozone absorbs the maximum part of the ultraviolet rays. Between 15 kilometers to 35 kilometers, there is a ozonosphere or ozone layer, right? The Vienna Convention and the Montreal Protocol are the regulatory conferences for ozone layer prevention. ओजोन लेयर को बचाने के लिए, प्रिवेंट करने के लिए वियना और मॉन्ट्रियल प्रोटोकॉल्स थे. कभी हम दूसरे चैप्टर में उसको देखेंगे. मेसोस्फेयर, the temperature decreases into the mesosphere, and in ionosphere the main character of the ionosphere is reflecting the radio waves towards the earth. When you use the cellular phone or radio, the radio waves are reflected through this ionosphere. There are some layers E, F, G. These are the layers which reflects the radio waves. And after ionosphere, the exosphere is not very important for us, and there is little knowledge about the composition of exosphere. In the exosphere, there is layers of nitrogen, oxygen, helium and hydrogen, right? So this is the composition of, structure of atmosphere. The second part of this chapter is weather and climate. Weather and climate. The main difference between weather and climate, the climate is long time physical condition of atmosphere, and the weather is short time physical conditions of the atmosphere, right? What do you mean the physical conditions? The physical condition means the temperature, the humidity, the temperature, the humidity, and the dust and gas particles, etc. So the physical conditions are responsible for the long time, the physical conditions of temperature, humidity, and the percentage of water vapor, dust particle, gases. It makes climate. As in India, there is a quick figure of India. In India, 23.5 Cancer, the northern part to the Cancer and the southern part to the Cancer. There is a different climates are in these two parts, although they are the part of India, but the northern part feels a continental climate, and the southern part, the most part of the South India, feels oceanic climate, right? The continental climate means we feel different seasons, but in the oceanic climate means we feel stable physical conditions like temperature, humidity, and the dust pattern, etc. But the weather is a short time physical condition. It means the temperature change. When the clouds comes, the temperature changes. When there is no cloud, the temperature changes. When there are black clouds, there is a precipitation. There is no black clouds, no precipitation. It means the short time physical condition changes in some hours, some days, some weeks, called weather. When we talk about the temperature, it reflects or it means the temperature of air. Right? The temperature of air. So this is difference between weather and climate. Let's see the next topic. Insolation. The source of temperature is insolation. Insolation. It comes from sun. Insolation comes from sun, and the earth receives the insolation. This is equator 0 degree. This is Cancer 23 degree and half latitude. ठीक? This is 23 degree and half. It means northern latitude means Tropic of Cancer, which goes through India. This is called Capricorn. Southern latitude, right? So the equator receives the direct insolation, but the maximum temperature finds on the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, because the equator receives daily rainfall. There is a heavy rainfall zones over equator. That's why there are a lot of cloudy days throughout the year, and over the Cancer and Capricorn there is a anticyclonic conditions throughout the year. Anticyclonic conditions means clear sky, high pressure, no precipitation or low precipitation, and heavy evaporation. So the insolation makes our earth and our atmosphere warmer or warm, and it comes through शॉर्ट वेव्स, सूक्ष्म तरंगों के रूप में आती हैं, एंड द टेरेस्ट्रियल रेडिएशन इज इन लॉन्ग वेव फॉर्म. द एवरेज टेम्परेचर ऑफ द अर्थ इज 15 डिग्री सेल्सियस. द cities are more warmer than the villages. Why? Because the concrete roof or the buildings made by cement and the roads, they reflect the sun rays as they comes through, and the whole temperature goes warmer through the insolation and the terrestrial radiation both. But in the villages where there is low cementization or low use of, or very low use of, very short using of cements, there is a open land, grasslands. The character of grassland, it absorbs the insolation throughout the day, and when the sun sets, it re-radiates slowly. So there is only one factor which warms the atmosphere over villages or over the grasslands, right? The next point is air pressure, wind, and cyclones. All these topics we will discuss in our next video. Watch all this composition. The half of the or the rest of the part of this lesson we will discuss in our next video. I hope you enjoyed. Watch, share and subscribe PCS for NCERT series Prepare IS YouTube portal. Goodbye and good luck.